up, YouTubers? Well, just working on Trenton's Project Norge here, and what we're doing is welding in new rods to be able to bolt the trailing arms back on. As I said in the last video, I was trying to drill them out to retap them. Went horribly wrong. Accepted it. That was going to be a disaster to try and fix now. We just moved on and took the belly pan off. I made new, I guess you call them a bushing or something. They're a threaded bushing. I'll show you what I made here. But yeah, you can see we're tore down to nothing now. I got the belly pan off. I went in here with a Sawzall and cut the old ones out. There's 3 welds right here and 3 welds on the back side. Cut them 3 welds, cut those 3 welds. Then you got to separate it from this rod that comes in to the edge of the tunnel here where it's riveted in there. Cut that also. Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of time into this. I think the most time we got into was just taking the belly pan off. And then, you know, now it's going to get a good cleanup too with the belly pan off. And then we'll get the belly pan back on. And it's Friday night right now. What else do you do on a Friday night other than sit out in your shop and avoid your wife and work on sleds? I mean, that's what we do. I mean, trying to get some stuff done here this weekend. This thing, after tonight, it's going to move along in a very fast pace because we have everything staged, sitting here. We have every part to just start hammering this thing back together, and everything's ready. All the hardware's here. There's really nothing we got to go chase down at all. So, I mean, it's kind of nice that, you know, we ran into this little bit of snag, but it allowed us to prep all this stuff to get it ready. And once we get done welding these in tonight, we'll get that belly pan on tomorrow. We'll get all these parts on there, get the engine set back down in it. Things are gonna happen fast on that. So what I did is I pretty much try to work with anything that I can. And I just happen to have the right DOM tubing, bushing stock is what I always call it, because I always use it for bushings to weld through tubing, or, you know, to be able to put a bolt through and stuff. I happen to have the right size to be able to tap a 7/16 thread into it. So I grabbed some of that, was tapping the ends of it here, putting the threads down in there like 2.5, 3 inches deep into here. Well, then I wasn't quite happy with how thick the wall thickness was on here, because I looked at the stock ones. It was pretty beefy, but I think this is probably strong enough. But I'm like, well, what the heck? I have some other bushing stock here that I cut right here. Cut this down to slide over this bushing stock. There we go. Slide over it, and then I just left a little bit of the smaller one sticking out each end, and then I welded it to it. So basically it's a double walled then. That's what we did for that. You know, I wasn't going to go try and find... We originally brought this chassis in, old carcass, brought it in. I was going to cut a nice access hole here in the belly pan, because this belly pan's toast on here. Somebody had triple pipes on here, and they melted the pipes through everywhere. This thing was toast anyways. But we were going to cut out the tubes down there and stuff. And I got thinking, man, it's going to suck enough cutting the tubes out of that one. I'm just going to make some. And like I said, I just kind of ran by the seat of my pants here. And this is going to work. Threaded it. Going to double wall it. We already got the one in, as you can see. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it's going to be fine. So we'll post another video probably after tomorrow, because we're just going to hammer on this thing tomorrow. We're going to try and get Norge as far along as we can tomorrow. And I think it's going to be pretty impressive by the end of the day. We're going to get pretty excited when we start bolting things together on that one. And our update on the RXL. Trent, come over here and fire this thing up once. The RXL is back together. The track and the skids in it. He's got his new ski tips here. And we got it all back together last night. We had a little glitch with this thing after monkeying with all the computer system. One pull. That thing is just awesome. That's all original, fuel injected. All original fuel injected 94. We stretched it out. We kept all the parts to be able to put it back to a stock 121 if we so wish. But he polished up his bumper. We put some ice scratchers on tonight too, but This thing's ready to rock. At least one of our sleds is all back together now. It's a good feeling to have one. If it was to snow, we could at least pull this one out of the shop, take it for a rip. We have nothing. I was almost going to mow the grass today because it's that pathetic right now in Minnesota. Project Ultra Redemption, a little bit here and there. Get the skid back in this one too. Did that last night. Got the skid in, or no, sorry, I took the night off last night. I was just kind of did it so many days in a row working on sleds. Last night I'm like, you know what? I'm going to work on them all weekend. I'm not even going to touch this thing tonight. But the night before, I put the skid in it. Built this custom bumper for mine too. I went a little different direction than Trenton. It's kind of nice. We have two different looks on our bumpers. I could explain in a different video.